Hello and welcome back to A Course in Miracles, Workbook for Students. We are on lesson 73. I will there be light. We'll see why that doesn't seem to make sense. Today we are considering the will you share with God. This is not the same as the ego's idle wishes, out of which darkness and nothingness arise. The will you share with God has all the power of creating in it. The ego's idle wishes are unshared and therefore have no power at all. Its wishes are not idle in the sense that they can make a world of illusions in which your belief can be very strong, but they are idle indeed in terms of creation. They make nothing that is real.
Idle wishes and grievances are partners or co-makers in picturing the world you see. The wishes of the ego gave rise to it, and the ego's need for grievances, which are necessary to maintain it, peoples it with figures that seem to attack you and call for righteous judgment. No kidding. These figures become the middlemen for ego employs to traffic in grievances. They stand between your awareness and your brother's reality. Beholding them, you do not know your brothers or yourself.
Your will is lost to you in this strange bartering, in which guilt is traded back and forth and grievances increase with each exchange. Can such a world have been created by the will? By the will the Son of God shares with his Father? Did God create disaster for his Son? Creation is the will of both together. Would God create a world that kills himself?
Today we will try once more to reach the world that is in accordance with your will. The light is in it because it does not oppose the will of God. It is not heaven, but the light of heaven shines on it. Darkness has vanished. The ego's wild, idle wishes have been withdrawn. Yet the light that shines upon this world reflects your will, and so it must be in you that we will look for it.
Pardon me. Your picture of the world can only mirror what is within. The source of neither light nor darkness can be found without. Grievances darken your mind, and you look out on a darkened world. Forgiveness lifts the darkness, reasserts your will, and lets you look upon a world of light. We have repeatedly emphasized that the barrier of grievances is easily passed and cannot stand between you and your salvation. The reason is very simple. Do you really want to be in hell? Do you really want to weep and suffer and die?
Forget the ego's argument which seek to prove all this is really heaven. You know it is not so. You cannot want this for yourself. There is a point beyond which illusions cannot go. Suffering is not happiness, and it is happiness you really want. Such is your will in truth, and so salvation is your will as well. You want to succeed in what we are trying to do today. We undertake it with your blessing and your glad accord.
We will succeed today if you remember that you want salvation for yourself. You want to accept God's plan because you share in it. You have no will that can really oppose it, and you do not want to do so. Salvation is for you. Above all else, you want the freedom to remember who you really are. Today it is the ego that stands powerless before your will. Your will is free and nothing can prevail against it.
Therefore, we undertake the exercises for today in happy confidence, certain that we will find what it is your will to find, and remember what it is your will to remember. No idle wishes can detain us, nor deceive us with an illusion of strength. Today let your will be done, and end forever the insane belief that it is hell in place of heaven that you choose.
We will begin our longer practice periods with the recognition that God's plan for salvation, and only His, is wholly in accord with your will. It is not the purpose of an alien power thrust upon you unwillingly. It is the one purpose here on which you and your Father are in perfect accord. You will succeed today, and the time appointed for the release of Son of God from hell and all idle wishes, and from all idle, yeah. His will is now restored to his awareness. He is willing this very day to look upon the light in him and be saved.
After reminding yourself of this and determining to keep your will clearly in mind, tell yourself with gentle firmness and quiet certainty, I will there be light. Let me behold the light that reflects God's will and mine. Then let your will assert itself, joined with the power of God and united with yourself. Put the rest of the practice period under their guidance. Join with them as they lead the way.
Pardon me. In the shorter practice periods, again, make a declaration of what you really want. Say, I will there be light. Darkness is not my will. This should be repeated several times an hour. It is most important, however, to apply his idea in the form immediately you are, this should be repeated several times an hour. It is most important, however, to apply today's idea in this form immediately you are tempted to hold a grievance of any kind. This will help you let your grievances go instead of cherishing them and hiding them in darkness.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm still stuck on, I will there be light. That
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's an
But
interesting phraseology.
excuse me again. So um so again, we're just reiterating that happiness is all I really want. Such is my will in truth. And so salvation is your will as well. And we want to succeed in that today. So that's underlined for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then down in number 7, above all else, you want the freedom to remember who you really are.
Yes, that's a good one.
And then back in the end of 4 and the beginning of 5, yet the light that shines upon this world reflects your will, and so it must be in you that we will look for it. Your
Mm-hmm.
picture of the world can only mirror, here we go, what is within. The source of neither light nor darkness can be found without. And then, like, grievances darken your mind. So, yeah, I guess it's just
So,
saying we are the light of the world. I think that's.
yeah. So I, yeah, it's interesting. I will there be light. I will it, like I'm willing it to be, and also I am the light, or I shall be the light.
I am the light.
Yeah, I will there be light.
Well, and I like what you said first. I will it that there be light.
Mm-hmm.
But do we really want to? Anyways, we need to make it work for, for us and our bodies
Mm-hmm.
so we can, yeah.
And also just below on number 5, forgiveness lifts the darkness, reasserts your will, and lets you look upon the world, a world of light.
Yes,
So,
and we have repeatedly emphasized that the barrier of grievances is easily passed and cannot stand between you and salvation. That's like the clouds.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you're just walking through the clouds to the light.
So are you, because there is darkness in the world. I mean, that
We're not of
has,
the world, though.
no, true, but the world is around us.
Yeah.
We're living within, the construct of whatever it is. So when I see that, I see forgiveness lifts the darkness and reasserts your will. I'm there with both of those statements. But then when it says, and lets you look upon a world of light, I think, okay, am I supposed to just not, see what I'm seeing? Am I gaslighting myself that, everything really, what I see is not darkness, it is light, when that's not really the case, or I
Well,
just have to be
it's
the
not even
light.
real. What we're looking at, like I think Nina said it yesterday, the last 5 years was not real. None of it
Mm.
was real.
What about before then?
Or none of it, none of existence has been real. Nothing we do with our body and out here is real.
Right.
So I, I don't want to say we're wasting. We're here to experience whatever it is, and we can choose to do with it what we want.
Mm.
Because we have no idea when we're going to die or how we're going to live or what was going to happen to our body or what's going to happen, like everything is sort of so willy-nilly, if I can use that expression,
Hmm.
that none of it means anything.
Right.
You're given, you've chosen, apparently we've chosen this path. um, I just think it's funny that we don't remember any of our other paths, and yet people have been on earth for millions of years, but this is the only one I'm aware of. I just find that so weird. And maybe I'm a new soul. I don't know how all this works, but we choose a body to have this experience, but really we're and everything is required. I've said it many times. It's required to for people to remember who they are, for people to remember that this is a movie. It's always been a movie.
Hmm.
It's just a journey that we've. Like, what does Michael Murdad say? It's a journey to somewhere. I'll have to look at how, but it's all meaningless. Even what's happening in the world and the chaos, that apparent chaos that's happening in the world is a movie playing out in a movie theater, and there's nothing we can do about it. And it's
Right.
not even, it doesn't even mean anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can
Yeah.
participate in it if you want. You can create the grievances, because that's what the grievances are, is, I feel guilty if I don't um, protest at the sorry, I keep saying that, ostrich farm, or
Mm.
we have a corner here where all the protesters go.
Hmm. Yes, yeah, I've
I,
seen that.
yeah, I think love is the only thing that heals this world. And we've made it complicated. And, as a soul, we need to remember that love is really all there is.
Yeah.
People that are doing hurtful and hateful and mean things have forgotten who they are.
Yeah.
And they're doing all the distracting things because it's real easy to listen to the ego direct your life. We've done that until we're still doing that. We still do
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
but we have a different level of awareness of of what's going on, and that really none of it matters.
And plus it's not necessarily that easy to hold the light,
No.
because we are human beings and we do stand in judgment probably most
Well,
of the
and that's
day.
what the ego wants,
Right.
chaos and darkness. So
And so when we see those things happening in our world, it literally helps to snuff out our light, because
yeah,
even the people who feel like they're the love and light brigade get down, get sad, get worried, get depressed, get they lose hope. And
get sick.
right. And so I think that's probably part of it, is to keep us distracted and in some form of misery so that we don't
Yeah,
will be the light.
right.
Hmm.
So that we
Or
don't we're
can't.
so busy mucking about in all
Yeah.
the movie, and it's been a movie since we were born. We've been
Yeah.
mucking about in that the whole time, when really it's just
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
in us, pretending to have this, like, honestly, there's nothing we do here that's important.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah,
My
that's true.
amazing bookkeeping business
Hmm.
is meaningless. I'm doing taxes, like helping people put a financial statement together so they can pay. Like, how meaningless is that? That's
Mm.
completely meaningless. Even the other side, like I've talked about, my life's going along like this. I'm doing some of the woo-woo spiritual stuff, and
Hmm.
I'm doing the logical earthly stuff. Even the
Yeah.
woo stuff is really irrelevant.
Yeah.
you want to heal your body, because healing your body helps you remember that you are God. God
Mm-hmm.
is within you, that there's light, that there's a possibility that, like, to have our journey. Not that
Yeah.
I'm saying anyone else's journey is wrong, but you want to heal the nonsense that you think is real,
Yeah.
and remember that you are the light and the love, because love is the only thing that heals this earth.
Yeah.
It's not being right. It's not exposing the elites or the whatever crap they're doing or perceived that they're
Yeah.
doing,
Yeah.
that we've let them do. Did we let them? Does it
Mm-hmm.
matter? You know, if we still live our life in with the light,
Mm-hmm.
I am the light. It Nothing here matters. That's really all I can. Even Lucille, that I'm so excited about Lucille, my camper van, it's meaningless. If
But
I was to die tomorrow,
it brings
it just,
color to
yeah,
your experience here.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you can choose, that's it. You can choose what you want to color your experience here with,
Yeah.
but none of it means a hill of beans.
Right. Yeah.
None of it.
Yeah.
People choose
Yeah.
they chose this life. They chose the addiction. They chose the I'm going to be a rapist, a murderer, and serial killer, or whatever the disgusting things we want to add a
Mm-hmm.
grievance or make that a grievance.
Yeah.
That's their journey. And I
Yeah.
suppose if it affects me, then that's my journey. But there's so much that's not my journey.
Yeah.
And being in a loving state can, in my opinion, can change everything on this great big platform that we think is a globe that might be flat, that isn't eternity, that's infinity, that's, I think
Yeah.
only love fix there's nothing to fix, even only
Right.
love helps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing else helps.
Yeah.
Being
Makes
right,
that,
none of it helps.
yeah, creates the clearer path.
And in fact, the more people that anchor in, like, um the details,
Mm-hmm.
people that anchor in all the details, oh, the ostriches, it's just a calamity that they're going to be
Yeah.
culled. And it's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're still going to have food. There's still, like, yeah.
Yeah. Stay out of that fear.
It's not even that, but if you feel compelled, that's your body, and do
Sure.
it. um but everything is a distraction, and
Yeah.
yeah. Like, it's like putting white out on a movie screen. It's
Yeah.
the only thing that changes anything is being in a loving state. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say, raise your frequency, because that doesn't, nobody knows what that means. What the fuck does
Mm-hmm.
that mean?
Mm-hmm.
Be in a loving state.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on that's bad or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it impacts you, it's required.
Yeah.
So, no one likes to hear that your rape was required. It was required for you to feel the feelings, to experience that, to heal that. You
Yeah.
attracted that.
Yeah. Yeah. Or it was
Oh,
just your journey to be that,
yes.
the opposite of what that person did was, he was the perpetrator, you became the victim.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you knew that at a soul level when you came here,
Yeah.
that that was going to be your coloring book.
Hmm. And we don't know what we decided our coloring book was going to be before we came here. We don't
That's
even
right.
know if that's true.
Yeah.
You know, I've read that in, the Celestine prophecy books,
Mhm.
that say that we've chosen our family, we've whatever, right?
Mhm.
And I don't know. I'm so
Kinda I
detached
find that,
from it all.
yeah.
I say to people, why did you have children? I don't
Mhm.
understand.
Mhm.
Why? Not because the world is bad, or you want, was it required?
No, I think it's pure
I don't
ego.
understand.
Yeah. To create another little person that is just like you.
And it's karma, and it's, there's, I don't know, right?
Mhm.
Why do I have a dog? Right?
So many
It's just,
questions.
so what are we doing? We're
Mhm.
just trying to be more loving.
Yeah.
And I think we read this, happiness is our function.
Mhm.
I don't have
Yeah.
the answers, but that seems to make the most sense to me. Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
raping people makes you happy, we can call that a spade. You're a sick person.
Mm-hmm. That's a
Um,
judgment.
but in a way, you don't get to pick. Maybe you chose to come here as a rapist.
Right.
I don't know, right? I don't make the rules. I don't. Nothing makes sense here. Even
No.
that. Why would you come
No.
here as a rapist? It doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. Nothing here makes sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't
That's
know.
our deep conversation for today, isn't
Totally. Yeah. I'm tapped out.
it? Well, here, the I
Mhm.
ego's idle wishes are unshared and therefore have no power at all. So all this crap that we do here, I mean, I'm grateful that you do facials and I love them, but
Mhm.
that makes me happy and that makes you happy. So then, that's a win-win
Right.
for an experience on Earth or here, whatever, wherever we are
Yeah. We
in
have to
this
fill
great
the
big
time
abyss.
somehow,
Yeah,
right? Accounting, facials, and camping,
yeah,
right?
not, yeah,
Because otherwise
accounting.
we're just suspended.
Yeah,
We're
this
we're
is
not
just a
participating.
we're just in this lifelong movie that we don't know what's coming around the corner. We don't know really why yesterday happened the way like we don't. I think that was yesterday. I don't
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
right? I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know anything.
I don't know anything. Exactly.
That was part of yesterday's, remembering is
Mhm.
what is salvation, Father? I do not know. Tell me that I may understand. Like it's just be we don't know. We don't know what we're supposed to do. We're just doing stuff
Mhm.
willy-nilly.
Yep.
And we don't know why. It makes us happy. It why we choose stuff that makes us sick, like whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's an obscure thing that we even have this experience, but we're having this experience.
Totally.
It's very weird, right? This is all very weird when you get
It's sure interesting.
right into the depth of it. And we don't even know if we're in the depth of it. We could be just
Mhm.
scratching the surface or we could be way off base. I
Yep.
don't know.
Yep.
I don't
We'll
know.
only we'll only know when we go back to spirit form.
And do we go back to spirit form just
Yeah,
because
I
a
have no
bunch of
idea.
people had a near death experience and that's what they say happens? Does it
Mhm.
really?
Yep.
I don't know. We don't
I don't
know.
know either. No.
We don't know. We don't know.
So what's the point? What's the point of all of this then?
Exactly. I don't know. To be happy, whatever that looks like for you, to be
Mhm.
happy.
Mhm.
Because apparently, in a perfect world, whatever that means, we
Yep.
don't need to eat. We don't need to breathe. We don't need to sleep.
Mhm.
What does that mean? Who thought this would be a fun idea?
Mhm.
I think our bodies are quite incredibly made, whoever
Mhm.
made them and why they made them. And, some work and some don't. That makes no sense.
Right.
And then,
Well,
once this came to my attention, I'm like, is there really 8 billion people? I don't think so. I don't think there's 8 billion people here.
yeah. I haven't believed in statistics for since 5 years.
Yeah, right.
But we
Yeah.
were created by some kind of a creator.
Yeah.
That's all we know for
Some
sure. We are
magic
here,
way
wherever
that
here
thought we
is.
should be in a uterus in someone's body, like plant grow like a plant.
Yeah. Those are created too.
And then, the sci-fi movies where you're just a pod in this big cavern, like it's just weird.
Mhm.
This is a very weird experience. And so do with it what you want.
Yeah.
I choose to have a loving experience.
Yeah.
Now that I know what I know, which means nothing, I don't
Yeah.
really
We know
know
what we think we
anything.
know.
I do know that when I feel like I healed all this inner woundedness, which doesn't
Mhm.
exist,
Mhm.
that I am a different person. I'm
Right.
a completely different person.
Mhm.
What that means and why, I don't know. What
Mhm.
is the end result? I don't know.
Right.
Right? None of this makes any sense. None of this. So I'm going to just choose to be innocent because I
Mm-hmm.
don't know anything, and choose to be happy and trust that whatever experiences I'm having are required,
Yep.
whether it's good or bad, and what I've attracted. And
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't, what does that mean?
You need a strong mind to go through this book because, this could easily tip a certain part of the population over into a ditch,
Yeah.
right? If you can't make
Well, and
sense of your world,
you can't.
then, where does that leave you? You can either be in acceptance or it can totally pull the rug out from underneath you.
Well, and I think that it's important to have 365 lessons. Is it a
Mhm.
coincidence that it's one day, one a year, or one a
Yeah.
day?
What for a year? Yeah.
Like, because that doesn't even exist, but it's, I guess that's our reality is right now we have
Yeah.
365 days a year most of
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
And that why we're here at lesson 70. So obviously someone thinks that whoever reads this, someone, whoever that is, I
Mhm.
don't know, figures that when we read this in this vessel
Yeah.
that makes no sense,
Yeah.
you get to this point and you can either, because you're not going to read this first, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you've done no, like, if you have no awareness, if you have no idea, if you have no, whatever I have, what you
Mhm.
have that makes this okay at this point,
Yeah.
if you don't have whatever we seem to feel like we have to understand this, right? It's just so obscure.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't start here. You have to start at number one, which is nothing means anything. What is number
Right.
one? I'm never upset for the reason I think I am. Like,
Mhm.
that's quite something at number five. Oh,
Yeah.
no, nothing I see means anything. Nothing I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place means anything. Nothing means anything.
But that's not very easy for somebody to comprehend,
I don't
right?
think it
That
was easy
that
for
means
us
no,
at that
no,
time
no.
because we're sitting on a chair. We appear to be sitting on a chair in this
Mm.
body,
Mhm.
but nothing means anything. And
Right.
we can, we have things that we can appear to touch and use to write, or I don't know what this is for. I know I can write with it, but
Mhm.
if we go back to an innocent state, what is this really? It is
Mhm.
a big nothingness.
Yeah. Well, we'd figure it out.
So nothing means anything. And then now, like 70 lessons in, that's not really that far.
Mhm.
If this is your first time through this set of lessons, it's really, yeah. So
Exactly.
what
So
are
interesting.
grievances? I don't know.
Mhm.
What is love? I don't know.
Mhm.
And then I looked down and the wishes of the ego gave rise to it, and the ego's need, people, whatever that means, seem to attack you and call for righteous judgment. I think that's the key word, seem. It
Mhm.
seems to. Did we allow it? Did we invite it?
Mhm.
Did we resist it? And
Yeah.
number three, your will is lost to you in this strange bartering in which guilt is traded back and forth, and grievances increase with each exchange. What exchange? What grievance? What guilt? All these things are
Right.
things we feel ourselves, we choose to feel. Weird, right? It's just
Yeah,
so
totally.
obscure.
Interesting.
Yet the light that shines upon this world reflects your will, and so it must be in you that we will look for it. The picture of your world can only mirror what is within. Your picture of the world can only mirror what is within.
Yep.
So that's why we each have a different experience. If you want to protest at the ostrich farm, do it. If you want to protest on the corner, that is just reflecting what's in you. what's in you. Not that you even exist, right? We'll go back
Yeah.
to Nina's, you don't
Yeah.
exist. This doesn't exist.
Exactly.
Nothing exists. But your picture of the world can only mirror what is within. So what, like I say, I've done some work, whatever that
Mm-hmm.
means. And
Mm-hmm.
I do believe I have peace. I am peaceful.
Yeah.
I am peace. So the world I want to create is a peaceful, loving state,
Right.
whatever that means to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what is within me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Wow.
That's a
Wow.
lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot. And yet it's nothing.
Yep.
Just, I don't know. We're going to remember, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I will be the light.
I will there be light.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did we beat
All
that
right.
dead horse?
Yep. She's gone.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I'll end the recording here and we'll decide if we're going to chat for a minute.
Mm-hmm.